Hey guys, this is Mr. Hall. I wanted to take some time to make a quick video showing you the step-by-step technique for making your own map activity or map race at your own home. Basically, all you're going to need is a printer, some computer paper, a computer obviously, and access to the internet, mainly Google Maps, and you can make your own race all in your own backyard.
Okay, to get started, all you're going to need is some markers with maybe a little bit of tape. You're going to need to be able to print a few things and access to the computer and internet. Okay, once you have those things, what you're going to do is you're going to go on Google Maps and you are going to zoom in on your address or the address of a local park or, a churchyard or something that you have access to that no one minds if you use it to basically do like an Easter egg hunt. Okay, you're going to zoom in on that till that essentially you have the entire area that you're going to use in the picture. I use a snipping tool from on Windows, just a regular computer Windows operating system, and I basically took a rectangular picture of what was on the screen, which was my house and yard. And then what you're going to do is you're going to copy that and you're going to paste it onto a Word document. So this is just a Word document. You could also just print the picture off itself. I find it's easier to resize it and everything like that on a Word document. And what this does is and this is the satellite version of the picture, not just like the street name version. And this allows me to see the trees in my yard, or at least how they were maybe a year or two ago. The shape of the driveway, the end of the property, kind of so that anyone using this can look at the map and have an idea of where something should be at when they're actually there. Okay, features that they can look at. Curves of the driveway, trees, steps, garages, things like that, okay? The next thing you're gonna do, you could actually stay with this type of picture and you can just start putting checkpoints down. And what that means is you're going to go out and in your yard, you're gonna walk around with, a set of these markers, maybe it is a Ziploc bag, and you're going to find a good spot for it. So you're going to say, I like this spot right here on the edge of my circular driveway. So I'm going to drop this marker right there in that spot, actually outside on the driveway. I'm going to mark that spot down and move on. And you're going to do this for all of your markers. One important thing I would do is do not put your markers or your CPs or checkpoints in order. So don't put number 1 here and number 2 by this tree, number 3 by the patio. You want to spread them out. So I usually just randomly grab markers from the bag. So I might have CP1 here, 3 might be way down here, 2 might be way over here, 4 might be way over here. Then I might have 5 on this corner, and basically just all over the place, okay? And you want them to be as spread out as possible because that's just going to be more space and more time and more exercise that the student can get. I did one in the side yard of the school, and we had over 1.5 miles of distance to get all the checkpoints in that 50-minute class. So that's pretty good exercise for any student, okay? Next, after you get your points marked, what you're going to do is you're going to find those points on this map. So, maybe I'm trying to find, basically like this corner of my driveway and my garage, okay? That checkpoint is going to be, if I follow this down, it's going to be 12 and X coordinate, and it's going to be 13 Y coordinate. So let's say that was checkpoint 2. I'm going to put 12, 13, okay, on here. And I'm going to do that for all of my checkpoints. So my checkpoint, say my checkpoint 3 was right here. All right, that is 7 comma 8. Okay, so I wrote 7, comma 8 on my coordinates. Make my 8 a little better. All right. And I'm going to do that for all of my checkpoints. I could do 10, I could do 20, just whatever you think that your child or your student would like to do. Okay. If I have younger students, I would just stick with this map with, checkpoint 2, checkpoint, my checkpoint 3 was right there. If I have, say kindergarten, first, second, third, maybe even fourth graders, maybe start with this. Fifth graders and up, I would absolutely do a coordinate grid because they already have the skills to do coordinate grids, and it makes it just a little bit tougher, okay? Because they're actually following coordinates instead of just looking at features. Both would be great, all right? And both give you the same amount of exercise. Both are fun, especially if you make it a race. They're racing a sibling, they're racing a neighbor. Also, they're going to be really spread out. So this is a good social distancing type of activity that you're not going to be right up on top of anybody because, you're going to be way up here. Somebody's going to be at the other complete side of the yard from you, hundreds of feet away, tens of feet away at least, moving around, okay? After you have all these coordinates listed, you're going to let your students take the map with the coordinate grid on it and their coordinates, and they're going to start finding their points. If you have more than one student, I would start one here and maybe skip a few down, start another student, skip a few down, start another group. You don't want them all going to the same 2 or 3 checkpoints right at the same time because basically they're just going to use each other to find them, and they'll hover in a group. You want them spread out. So, again, I would start one child here, one, scoot down a few, then scoot down a few more just for the next kid, okay? Now, I use markers for a specific reason, and that is so that I can actually have them mark off with this marker every time they get to a checkpoint. So let's say this is CP3 is the yellow marker. Grab marker here. So CP3 is going to be yellow, okay? And if you wanted to make an answer key with all of your different color marks or something, you could. I've done that before. It's not hard. And then you can keep this just for yourself. And then as soon as they find all of them, the first one back with all the points found is the winner. You can give them a treat or something for that. Good news is once you have all of this stuff set up, you just print off another coordinate sheet. Run back out, drop your markers off again, and you can write all of your coordinates back in. Okay, new coordinates this time. Okay, and again, add in some fun things like riding a bike or pulling a wagon, or you've got to bear crawl to these 5 checkpoints. You have to bear crawl to all of them or something like that, just to make it interesting. Parents can do this with their kids. Again, you can have neighbors as long as you're staying a little bit apart. But it's a lot of fun. The students have always had a really good time with it at school, and I was sad that that we're probably not going to be able to do it this year because of all the time away. But it's something that you could actually do at home pretty easily. Okay. If you have any questions about this, be sure to leave me a comment, or you can get a hold of me through the school. Thanks.